Today on The Big Story, Singapore leads the way as world's most competitive economy, but what does this mean for us? Reducing the risk of infant deaths. And what happens when you donate your body to science? Good evening and welcome to The Big Story. I'm Dylan Ang, coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. Now, for our first story, Singapore is the world's most competitive economy according to the World Economic Forum. It's certainly great news, but what does this mean for Singaporeans? Incidentally, Singapore also topped quite a few lists recently. For instance, it is the city most ready for AI disruption and is also the world's smartest city. Now, here to tell us more, we have Associate Editor Vikram Khanna. Hi, Vikram.
Hello, Dylan.
Hey, Vikram. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, let's jump straight in. And it's great that Singapore is doing well globally. But break it down for us. How is being the world's most competitive economy? How does that impact Singaporeans?
Well, first of all, let's just say that this is a report from a quite credible institution.
Right.
This is the World Economic Forum. These are the people who organize the annual Davos event. Mm-hmm. They come out with this ranking every year, and I think Singaporeans can take some pride in the fact that they're ranked number one out of 141 countries, mm-hmm. Right. With a score of 84.8 out of 100 over 103 different metrics. Right. The average score is 61.
Wow.
So I think what this basically conveys is that Singapore is well placed in taking care of the sort of long-term drivers of productivity. Mm-hmm. Okay, These are even the basic things such as institutions and infrastructure. It also ranks highly in terms of efficiency, how efficient the economy is, and also quite highly on innovation and sophistication.
I see.
So these are important things. I think businesses and companies and investors, they pay attention to these things, but they also take other things into account when they make investment decisions.
Right, yeah.
For example, things like market size also matter. Things like rapid economic growth also matter. Mm-hmm. So these indicators covered by the WEF are not everything, but I think they point to the fact that Singapore has a very solid foundation for the future of its economy.
Now, Vikram, you touched a little bit about how prestigious it is to top this list, but maybe tell us a little bit more about what are the perimeters or criteria that the World Economic Forum actually look at when they give out, this award. Yeah.
Okay, I mentioned there are 103 different things that they measure.
Yeah.
They broadly fall into three categories. Okay, one is what they call the basic requirements. Basic requirements are things like institutions, infrastructure, health, primary education, the macroeconomic environment. How low your inflation is, how strong your budgetary position is.
Yeah.
That's one category. The second category is what they call efficiency enhancers. This is basically about how efficient your markets are. How efficient are your product markets? Is it easy to buy and sell products?
Right.
How efficient are your labor markets? Are they flexible? Is it easy for people to switch jobs, find opportunities in other jobs? How efficient are your financial markets? Do your financial markets deliver? Do they channel savings into investment? Do they make productive use of the money in society?
Right.
Okay. So this is the second category. The third category is what they call innovation and sophistication. So how innovative is your ecosystem?
Right.
Are you promoting innovation?
Yeah.
How sophisticated are your businesses? Are they able to absorb innovation and create innovation? So these are the broad areas that the report looks at. Okay. So as I said, these are long-term drivers of economic productivity. It doesn't mean that there'll be a flood of investment next year or something, but for the long term, we are very well positioned. That's basically the message.
Now, Vikram, we can never rest on our laurels. But moving forward, what else can Singapore do to stay on top?
Okay, I'm glad you raised that because while we might be number one, we are far from perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. There are some areas where we do not actually score high. Okay, and I think it's useful to look at the areas in which we are relatively weak, relatively. One is market size. Okay, we are that we can't help that. In a way, we are a small country, but actually we rank 27th in market size, which is actually not bad considering how small we are.
Yeah.
So 27th out of 141 for market size is not bad. We are not as small a market as some people think. I think we score low on the ease of hiring foreign workers.
Right.
I think, well, we score 93rd out of 141, and that reflects the sort of government's tight labor policies.
Yeah.
But there are some other areas which may be of concern. One is the limited checks and balances, what they say. And I think the freedom of the press, for example, is cited as one factor in that. We score quite low on that. We also score relatively low on sustainability, right? Environmental issues. For example, we are ranked 62nd in renewable energy regulation.
I see.
Yeah, I was 62nd out of 141. It's not terrible, but there's room for improvement. Yeah, and we also score low on environmental innovation. Okay, on entrepreneurship, we probably could do better. We score number 16th. We are ranked 16th. But if we ranked 1 overall, I think we probably can do better on the entrepreneurship front. And there's some very interesting rankings on skills. So for the skills of the current workforce, we rank 3rd. Skills of the future workforce, we rank 28th. So there's a big gap there,
big gap,
right?
yeah.
So we need to do more to improve our future workforce, right? So overall, I think we do pretty well, extremely well, I should say.
Yeah.
But there are still some areas we need to work on.
Thanks, Vikram, for that. I think you really help us to break down this news and really make sense of what it means to the rest of us hearing about this news. Of course, if you'd like to read the full story, you can always head on down to our website at straitstimes.com. Once again, thanks, Vikram, for coming on the show.